Hey everyone, it's been a while. I hope you're doing well. It's a rainy, thick, musty type of a day over here in Southern California. Kind of nice break from the heat. But it adds another layer of some sort of strange veil. The sky seems like it's filtered with the layers of different clouds, and the light coming through has a different feel to it. And of course, it's just been full throttle wacky out there in the greater field that we're sharing here in this life together, living here in this realm with all the different levels of... Each level has a different agenda on how it wants to survive. Either it works through implementing hierarchical systems. And I'm just saying that, and I'm watching a bird was just flying up off a roof to catch a bug, and another bird swooped in and didn't catch the bug, but wanted to make sure that bird did not get the bug, and the bug got away. So that was an interesting real-time example of what I was just saying. The implementation of this hierarchical mindset that one person or one individual or one being isn't allowed to have anything. It's up to the hierarchy. More for me is less for you, and more for you means less for me, so you're not getting more because I need more. When I think it's really, there doesn't need to be that. Could be a more is more. More for everybody is more for everybody. I got my feet on the ground, my bare feet on the soil. I am thinking about, yesterday I saw a post with the word vitriol, and I hadn't seen it as an acronym before, and I thought it was really interesting and wanted to apply it yet again to the torus field system of our technology or the interface, because as I know that I am pure, uncorruptible spirit that is maintaining its own signature, frequential signature, which is able to enter into this embodiment, and after the embodiment perishes, will be able to continue on, not needing the body to survive. So I know that that's who I really am. But while I'm in this life and experiencing this insane, all of the different layers of constructs that can be observed, I feel that it's wise to learn the ways these flows and cycles and patterns, applying it to all different scales and levels of universe, existence, myself, my life, my psyche, my environment, the larger environment, applicable from macro to micro, and using the formulas to help me sort things out while I'm here. It definitely helps me take a look at what's going on in my inner furnace, the dielectric core, the 0 point of myself, where the alchemy is happening, where every new cycle of convergence and divergence back through that central point is an opportunity to refine and further tune myself to be most aligned with that spiritual aspect, the uncorruptible light that is woven into this material. So I saw the post for vitriol, and I was curious, what does that mean? And so I looked it up, and it's an acronym, and it's It's an alchemical maxim. It translates to visit the interior of the earth, and by rectifying or purifying, you will find the hidden stone. So, visita interiora terrae, visit the interior of the earth, represents going inward into the depths of matter or of yourself. Rectificando, by rectifying or through correction, means purifying, aligning, or setting right what is disordered. In venis occultum lapidem, you will find the hidden stone, refers to discovering the philosopher's stone, the ultimate goal of alchemy, the transmutation of base into divine. So then, tying this together with the torsion field mechanics, you can think of it like this: the movement inward through the dielectric core. You can imagine this as in a breath exercise. You're breathing in the chi through the top of your head down into your solar plexus, where it's alchemizing, distributing or picking up whatever information it needs in that specific refinement process of however your intentions are, of noticing what's coming back in and what you want to do with it, and how you want to adjust that before it sends back out into the greater field. The concentric spheres of influence beyond self, outward. And it's happening, it's pulsing all the time in no time. So you can take as long as you want, and you can take as little as you want to do these. It could be a quick thought. It could be a blink of an eye. You could set an intention and know every time you blink, that's you're refining. Or you can take longer and really think about it, this process. You're both breathing in upward, like pulling the nutrients up from the roots into your tree. You're also breathing inward from the top, from the ether into your more higher octave aspects of self, breathing in through there, and the lower realms of self as well. And this is directly applied to all the systems within your body and outside of it. And like I said before, this interface technology, I think for me, it's interesting to learn about and to start to, almost in like an Aikido type of a way, work with this energy to help me get closer to myself in full remembrance and integration of that aspect of myself that is incorruptible, that is not in flesh completely, that is just here temporarily helping to animate this particular unfolding of a story through the DNA and the frequential rungs that this particular signature came into the earth through. Speaking about the zodiac and how that applies to also the storyline of one's life incarnation. Okay, so then the movement inward through the dielectric core, the center point where polarity cancels, the charge is neutral, and pure potential exists. This is the visit the interior of the earth moment, returning to the 0 point. Practically, this could be meditation, deep stillness, or conscious awareness of the spine's axis, the personal axis mundi. Second step, rectificando, rectification as realignment. This is the act of recalibrating in the core so that what spins outward next carries a more aligned coherence. The dielectric core isn't just neutral, it's instructive. It imprints order on the magnetic and electric fields that spiral outward. Each time we pass through this center, the pulse re-informs us, clears distortions, and strengthens the harmonic signature of our field. Third step, Invenies Occultum Lapidum, discovery of the stone. The stone is not a single object, but the state of coherence that emerges after repeated cycles of descent, rectification, and re-emergence. In the terms of the torus, this is when your outward field becomes fully phase-aligned with your inner core, creating the self-sustaining, non-leaking circuit. You then become the philosopher's stone. Your field is tuned, radiant, and generative. And this is how I feel we can gain more strength while we're navigating through this dense stew of confusion. Think of each pass through the torus as a distillation. The descent, the inward motion, collecting all disordered charge, unprocessed emotion, and mental noise. Bring it toward the center. Nothing is lost. Everything is brought to the point of transformation. Compression, core, contact. Enter the dielectric stillness, where dualities meet and collapse. Here, rectification happens. The incoherent spin collapses and is reordered. This is like the pause between the breath, the pause between the heartbeats. You can sit in that space for as long or as short a period as you want and experiment with what you can sense in that stillness. And then the reemergence and the outward motion. The purified charge is spun back out into the field, stronger, cleaner, and more resonant. The outward field now carries a clearer harmonic, which affects your entire reality bubble. And then the return. Each cycle brings you closer to the perfect alignment of your inner spark with your outer field. And this is the alchemical marriage. So now that I've begun viewing this term and alchemical maxim of vitriol as a torus process, it's no longer just a motto, it becomes living circuitry. I want to put in the description a link to Adam David's recent video, because as I just said that last sentence, it reminded me of his, where he was mapping out some of the stages as well in his own way, relating it to channeling, I believe. It was a very interesting video, and I would recommend checking that out too, to learn different ways of working with this technology of ours while we're here. Make it a little easier on ourselves. I refuse to let this place confuse me so that I'm inadvertently causing myself more pain by being ignorant. So every challenge, shadow, or distortion is raw material to feed into the next cycle. Each transmutation increases coherence, which amplifies the field and attracts cleaner input into your next cycle. Imagine it as a radio tuner. The signal is clean and clear when you get just the right tuning. It really is able to come through strong. Over time, our lives can become the outward proof of our hidden alchemical stone, stable, radiant, and uncorrupted by parasitic systems. It's definitely one of the best places to practice. It's like running with weights on, or swimming with a weighted vest on. If we can figure out these things here while we're here, integrate it into our innate energetic signature, that memory, that charge, that hertz, that frequency, that doesn't dissipate with the physiological death. That is added to the song which you came in, that was overlaid upon the physical life scripts and field information will dissipate, but your original resonance will only be enhanced. Thank you for listening. I have a lot of videos in the past where I've gone over and over and over and over this idea and all the different ways to think about these. So feel free to visit any of the past videos in the past 4 months. I always like to give credit to Nicole Murphy because she has really pioneered this next level of syncretism integration into the fields, the morphic field of the collective consciousness. So I really appreciate the perseverance of her work and basically showing how you can make observations of what's going on in this realm to prove to yourself without a doubt that it has this field and everything within it has the field in a smaller version. And so then you can take, as I'm doing, the formula and apply it in other aspects of this experience. And it's just as an effective tool as whether you want to harmonize yourself with the realm to honor it, or if you want to strengthen your own processes and utilize while we're here the tools that have been hidden for a really long time. And there's this one more thing. I was watching Golden Calf and Topher from Biocharisma talking last night in an interview about the Mandela effects, and they were going through the patterns and the messages and the signs and how a lot of them had to do with the shapes merging together, the Vesica Pisces, the red, the blue, the portal, all of these different things. And I just kept thinking, oh, it's pointing to how the Taurus works. Red shift, blue shift, the hyperbola, the Vesica Pisces, that's all of these patterns. It's pointing to, and so the theory that they were talking about was that it was a sign pointing to prepare people for a great cataclysm. But I kind of felt like it might just be pointing to, since a lot of people are getting the same insights and downloads about the Taurus, and it's coming back into, after Itzhak Bentov and the CIA took his work and used it for the gateway process documents. And so it's been about, 60 years since he came out with that. So it's kind of finally starting to integrate on a deeper level and come out the new iteration of the Gnosis. And tying it in with Gnosticism too. So it's bringing the sacred, spiritual to the science. And I feel that perhaps all of these, there's just a lot of pointing right now to, hey, look, this is what this system is, and this is how it works. And you can recognize that in yourself, in this body that you're in while you're here, and figure out how to use it to make your life a little bit better if we can. Because like I said before, I refuse to let any more pain and confusion have an effect on me. I've been heartbroken and in a lot of pain and really confused, and I just don't allow it to take any part of my spirit, or to allow myself to lose any part of my spirit as it withdraws, because I'm not able to create a proper metaphysical housing for my spirit. So it withdraws and waits for me to be done, and then I can rejoin with the rest of it. I want to feel my spirit completely while I'm in here, and not only help myself, but other people too. All right, thank you for listening. Take care.